Another way to think about division is not the type of problem it is, but to think about how we actually solve division problems other than partitioning out and sharing out. So looking at this piece here, we have something called the missing factor approach. Missing factor approach right here becomes kind of a key tool as students use and develop into mathematics and to algebra, which we'll talk about. But the missing factor approach, here's the formal definition. If you have two numbers, A and B, with those two numbers, if we know that A divided by B equals C, then A divided by C, if and only if A equals B times C. So what this means, this is true if this is true. And so in this case, the idea is to make an example for you. If we have this, then this is true if and only if this is true. So let's pick up some numbers. Let's say 30 is equal to 5 times 6. So since that is true, what we now know is we can take this over here, A equals B times C. Then we know that 30 divided by 5 is equal to 6. So this is the idea of missing addend in terms of you could solve a division problem. 30 divided by 5 we know equals 6 because 5 times 6 equals 30. And so because of that, we have this what we call the missing factor approach, meaning that we're just looking for the missing factor. So again, that idea of, let's come up with one. Let's say 18 divided by 3. What does that equal to? Well, in order to solve that, I can think of the missing factor approach and then kind of get to, well, you know what? That means 3 times something has to equal 18, and then we know that something is 6. And so that inverse relationship is very important. And so here, looking at the example here, we see 24 divided by 8 since equals 3, since 8 times 3 equals 24, and so forth as we look at that. And then important again in this are some of the terminology. That's our symbol for division. A divided by B. We also call A the dividend. B is the divisor. That's the thing that's going into the number. And C is called the quotient or the missing factor. Those are related to each other. And so that's the missing factor approach for division. As we look at those problems here, again, what is 52 divided by 4? It equals 13 because 13 times 4 equals 52, and so forth. Students then, again, use that idea over here later on in terms of their fact 4 families and realize how they're all related to each other. And again, that's a way of kind of learning your computational problems and knowing how to do computations, multiplying and dividing. Most students do division because they know their multiplication. That's it.